Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lizzie Everyday Living. This video or this series of videos will be done in parts, and really why I'm here today is to talk about my experience as a teacher living in the United Kingdom, and I'm from Jamaica. I really thought that my experience so far has had many ups and downs, but I will do this part one video focusing on why I decided to come to the UK. So I've been living here for almost 10 years, and why I decided to come here was mainly because of two reasons. One, wanting to travel outside of Jamaica, share the cultural experience of what it is like being a Jamaican teacher, and sharing my experiences with the students, as well as with staff that I might encounter. And secondly, for financial reasons. All right, so when I first arrived in the UK it was in December, it was in autumn. So the first thing was that it was a shock in terms of the weather, because of course it was very cold, and it was, for me, it was just a turn off with the weather, because 7 a.m. in the morning it was very dark when I would leave out for work, and I really struggled initially because of that reason. Another thing is that I came to the UK with a lot of experience. I was a senior teacher in Jamaica. I was a year group leader for a couple year groups, and when I came here I was just thrown into the classroom. All of my experiences, well, I was told that my experience, my leadership experience would have benefited me when I came here, because I would have gotten the opportunity to possibly start out in a leadership position. But of course that was not the case. So, well, my experience was that I was, as I said, I was just thrown into the classroom, and I struggled quite a lot, mainly because, of course, there were behavioral issues with the students, and for me and my colleagues, we found out that we were given some of the most challenging classes to teach, and so it was very, very difficult adapting to a whole new culture within the circumstances that we had to work with. The curriculum was a whole new different curriculum, because I wasn't used to teaching any of the curriculum of that sort. Of course, I'm an English teacher, both English and literature, English language and English literature. Of course, there's a core element of the subject, but it was a whole new syllabus, whole new curriculum. So there was adapting with that, and there was adapting with the challenges of teaching in a classroom that there were so many behavioral issues. The hours were long, because, say for example, I would leave out for work at 10 minutes to 7. I would find that in the morning, of course, I'd find that at 5-6 p.m. in the evening I was still at work, because there were so many classes to teach on a given day, in terms of the timetabling, and from day to day, learning a new curriculum, learning a whole new syllabus, it took hours, it took resilience, and so that was one of the main challenges. Apart from that, of course, I had to, being the person who was sponsored the work visa, I had to leave my whole family back home, my husband and my son, and I struggled. To be honest, people, from the first week that I came to the UK, I knew that I did not like it here. But of course, I had already made financial obligations. Of course, there is the whole financial requirements of having to pay for the visa and to pay for the immigration health surcharge, which I will explain in later videos to come. And so, of course, you know, not having that money just put down, I had to go to the bank to get the loan. And so, having taken a loan that would take a couple of years to pay off, I had to just put out a lot of effort to make sure that I could survive here, because there was no going back, because I could not pay off that loan on a salary that I made in Jamaica. And so, having made that obligation, having decided to stay, I brought my son up within the first month. My husband, who is also a teacher, came a year after. He was as my dependent as well. When they arrived, of course, it became emotionally there was more support. But when my husband came, being a trained teacher in the Jamaica, he had to do a job that he was not comfortable doing. He had to work at a job where he was in a supermarket. And what a lot of Jamaicans don't realize is that it's not easy to just uproot a whole family and move them to the UK. It takes a lot of organizing, it takes a lot of resilience, and I have seen where families have broken apart because, say for example, the husband decides that he doesn't want to do that type of job, that, you know, it's as if he is not qualified. And so my husband decided to stay. It's very hard at first, because, you know, working in a supermarket, what can he earn? Because in terms of salary, when I just started here in the UK, I earned about £2,000 a month. And when you have a family, because when my son came, I had to leave out of the one bedroom that I had rented, and I had to rent a flat, because it's not allowed for an adult to be sharing the same room as a child in the UK. So I had to rent a 2-bedroom flat. And once my son settled, I had to rent a 2-bedroom flat. It was very expensive. It costs, at the time, rent was about £1,200. And so living off a salary, as I said, that was approximately £2,000. That would leave me with about £800. And there is something that you have to pay that is called council tax. Once you rent a flat or a 2-bedroom, you have to pay also your own electric. You had to pay your own, or you still have to pay your own, there's the internet bill, what am I leaving out, and there is the water bill. So by the time I'm finished paying all those bills, even when my husband arrived, because he wouldn't have been able to afford helping me, because he still had responsibilities back home, you know, that he had to look after monthly. And well, I had responsibilities as well, so but you can just imagine. And so by the time I finished paying the bills, there was little to nothing left. And really what a lot of teachers living in Jamaica right now don't understand is that it's very expensive to live in the UK on a mere teacher's salary. And so yeah, I think with that I will just end part 1 of this video. I think that there are a couple of things I might have skipped over, but as I said, there will be a part 2, because there comes a whole thing where when I arrived here, I was an unqualified teacher. So even though I was qualified in Jamaica, when you come to Jamaica, to the UK, you have to do over a whole new qualification, which I will share with you in part 2 of the video. So yeah, this video comes to a close right now. Thank you for listening. I thought I'd just share my experience with you. So until next time, this is Lizzie Everyday Living, and thanks for watching. Bye everyone.